Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, I bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have Mr. Kevin Keegan. He is the vocalist and guitarist of Dead Quiet. They have a new follow-up album called Grand Rites out now. This is a fabulous, unbelievable, awesome record. If you guys have not picked this stuff up, get it, listen to it. And I hope that you guys would like it as well. If you like Black Sabbath, Pale Horse Named Death, stuff like that, Electric Wizard even, stuff like this, man, you will dig this stuff. So, Kevin, how's it going?
Yeah, good, John, man. How you doing?
Doing awesome. I'm glad to get you guys on here. Let's jump right into this. What's impressed you the most about making this new album, Grand Rites? What's caught your eye about, if anything, possibly? Or what surprises you with it?
I guess it was just a lot of just kind of like giving up the reins to the other dudes to sort of kind of come up with some cool stuff, like Justin with the keyboard stuff. We had a lot of fun in the studio with that, and he used a lot of different keyboards and pianos and whatnot. And we just had a lot of fun and just like a lot of like really surprised things that I never would have thought we'd use, like kind of almost normally a little cheesier sounding kind of 80s synths, but like in certain parts somehow like it really worked. And then using like, you know, the banjo and spiritual abuse and stuff like that, just like fun instruments that kind of like came out of nowhere really and just really worked well for the record. That was like a nice surprise.
Now he's the new keyboardist, right?
Yeah, I mean he's been in the band for about a year and a half now, but yeah, he wasn't on the first record, so he's just on this one.
What has he brought differently to this band that you know might have been missing, maybe, that gave it a kick in the ass, possibly?
Yeah, you know what? It's just having like something other than guitars to like thicken up the sound. It just sort of adds this element, like a whole, like just fills the wall of sound with this other element. I think it just really thickens things up and adds a nice texture. And as far as like melody goes, it just like really enriches the melodies. Yeah, I don't think I could do it without keyboards. Now that I've had a taste of the glory, you know, I wouldn't be able to go back.
Yeah. Producing wise, who produced this album? Did you guys do it yourself or who worked on it with you?
Jesse Gander is the engineer, and then sort of him and I kind of co-produced together. But yeah, like he's the man behind the board, and he's the expert with all the gear, and he has this great room to record in. Yeah, he's the man out here for sure.
Do you guys kind of like doing it this way, just out and about on your own without having a lot of help with this, or no?
Well, yeah, I mean, I like having the control of it just being us, but you know, we could always use help as far as, you know, tours and whatever goes. Like it's
sure.
Definitely like, you know, sort of like tour managers or booking agents and management would go a long way. But at the same time, you know, we do like to sort of maintain control over the vision and whatnot.
Any songs off the new album, Kevin, that stand out more to you than any on it as of right now, if possible? I know these are like picking your favorite child or collectible, but
yeah,
do you have any?
Yeah, that's funny. I used that same phrase in another interview when someone asked me that. It's like, yeah, try to pick your favorite kid or whatever. So it's tricky, but I'd have to say, like, you know, I could maybe name a few. Like I like Moon Cursor. The opening song is really fun to play, as well as Corpse Revival, and the last song, the title track, Grand Rites, I'm more attached to than others for sure.
How much growth musically have you seen yourself plus this band go through from album to album, or has it just been more of a personal growth for each of you guys?
Yeah, I think there's been growth as far as playing with guys that are it's a first for me to play with guys that are this talented, and I really took advantage of that on this last record. Like, all the guys in the band are incredibly skilled with their instruments. So yeah, I just really enjoyed that, and that just pushed me to become a better player as well, and just become tighter. Yeah, it's just like everybody kind of pushes each other in that manner. Yeah, it's really nice.
Now, I know you said that you gave the guys more leeway this time of actually doing things their way, everybody's input and everything. Let's talk about that a little bit. What made you decide, okay, I want everybody, you know, to do their own thing besides me saying, let's do this, let's do that. Let's talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, I mean, it goes back to the last one too, just like really acknowledging everybody's talent and skill and really taking advantage of that rather than sort of burying them and just kind of like trying to like, run the show all by myself. I really wanted to take advantage of everybody's skill and talent because, yeah, they all have great ideas and they're all really good at what they do. So it would have been stupid of me to like, sort of like stifle that in any way. So, yeah, I really wanted to encourage the guys to lend in as much as they could.
Sure, then it would just be the Kevin show.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I don't want to be one of those crazy
really
band dudes who like that. Yeah.
So do you guys do anything differently during your writing and recording process to help keep your minds stay open and fresh, to not let the music get stale? Do you guys do anything differently?
Yeah, I mean, we try to sort of like always kind of tinker with things. Like nothing's ever set in stone. We definitely like we like that sort of trial and error approach. So we'll just sort of try things, and then you just tell right away that when something doesn't work, and then it's like we sort of have to go back to the drawing board and be like, you know what? Sometimes it takes like I'll have to go home and sleep on it and come back with another idea, and sometimes that won't even work. So yeah, we just kind of like you gotta have to be patient and just go through just that process of just trying stuff all the time, and then all of a sudden something clicks and you're like, okay, I think we're onto something, and then that's a really exciting moment to sort of latch onto and follow that through.
What do you hope the fans take away from the new album once they start to listen to it, or just Dead Quiet's music in general?
Yeah, I hope they can just enjoy this sort of the ride we like to take you on. Just it's like we don't want anybody to sort of to get bored. Kind of. We like to tell a story. So yeah, I hope people can kind of like listen and pay attention and have the attention span to really like listen. And it's a long record, but I think there's enough in there that keeps people listening and attentive. So yeah, I just think that if you are listening, hopefully you can just like really go for the full ride and soak up what we try to do with this one.
What can fans expect at a show from the mighty Dead Quiet when they come out to see you guys, or not got to see you guys live yet? What can they get?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely like, first and foremost, we like to enjoy playing with each other. So it's always like we have a certain camaraderie on stage when we play together. And I think that really shows. It brings out an energy, and we sort of bounce that energy off of each other. And yeah, we're always just smiling and fucking kicking ass on stage. And whether there's 4 people in the crowd or whether there's 500 people, like we're always going to sort of put on the same show and just enjoy playing with each other and just having a ripping time.
I think a lot of bands have missed on that, man. It doesn't matter how many people you got in the crowd that come to see you. It's just a simple fact that folks came to see you, period.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally. Yeah, that's it. You can't take that shit for granted. You've got to, you still got to perform. And if those one of those 5 people go home and they're like, their mind is blown, then, we've done something right.
Mm-hmm, exactly. Yeah. You want them to leave that show like say, man, I cannot wait till they come back, or I got to go buy everything that this band has out right now. That right exactly. There is the whole key to a fan, man.
That's right.
I know we're living in a digital era of recording albums and plus social media. Do you like this that we're in right now to get albums out quicker, and plus, the social media route to help bands get their stuff out quicker?
Yeah, it's kind of a necessary evil now. I don't know how much I like it necessarily, just because now, with streaming, it's like, not to say like, I've never been in this for the money, but it's just like now more than ever, there's just less and less opportunity for musicians to actually make a living. So it's kind of like, yeah, I'm not necessarily super keen on it, but it is a necessary evil. And so, we've embraced it, and it's like, okay, the advantage is that, yeah, we get our music out there globally, like, instantly, so anybody can access our music, which is fantastic. But at the same time, it's like, well, shit, I'm still working fucking 2 day jobs for this, to fund this very expensive habit that we have of playing music.
Yeah, you know what? Rob from Blackwater Rising said the same thing, man. He said, we made our album, plus we had day jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's a thing that I hope people have not forgotten that want to get into music. We're not trying to, discredit you for not trying to get in or make you mad not to do it, but you're just not going to walk into a bar and just bam, your sign. That rarely happens these days. Rarely happens these days. So
yeah, that's it exactly.
I mean, it's crazy to think that you have an awesome album like you guys do, plus you have day jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, man. It's just busy. You gotta stay busy. You gotta learn how to, use your time wisely and whatnot. But yeah, it's totally worth it.
Support wise, is there a country or a location that stands out more, surprises you that you guys even get support from that area?
You know what? It's hard to say so far. We've only really toured Canada so far, so we haven't had a chance to get down to the States yet or Europe. So I'm looking forward to doing that with this record and then sort of gauging that. Cause right now you get we'll get emails from somebody in like Taiwan or something every once in a while asking, about getting a copy of the CD or something. And that's always really surprising. It's like, oh, there's, metalheads in Taiwan that are like, digging for a fairly new, obscure band like us. It's like, wow, like I'm so curious how they would have found us and whatnot. So yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys got that, like I said previously, like that 70s Black Sabbath sludgy stuff, man. You got that sound that's just like, I think everybody misses,
Yeah. Well, yeah, man, you can't go wrong with Sabbath, like that sort of that old stuff. They did it right the first time. So yeah.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, that's right, exactly.
In your own opinion, what does Dead Quiet bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, possibly, if anything?
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is that throwback, that 70s vibe, but I definitely don't want us to be pigeonholed as just like a retro band,
Right.
I think there's elements of progression in our music as well. Like we have certain sort of proggier elements that sort of push the envelope and hopefully, stand out as a contemporary band as well as like a band with those sort of retro feels. But yeah, I definitely want to stand out as a new band doing something that like, is unique in its own way.
What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said, yeah, that's what I want to do?
Probably, yeah. I think my brother gave me a copy of Kill 'Em All on cassette when I was like 8 years old, and he just said, study this. And like from that moment on, I was like, you know what, I think I'm doomed to just be like a metalhead for the rest of my life. And I picked up the drums at first because of that, and from there it was all downhill.
So if you're a Metallica fan, what do you think of the remaster that they're doing of stuff like, Kill 'Em All, or not Kill 'Em All, but Ride the Lightning, and they just did Master of Puppets. When bands do this, do you like to see this side of a different way of this, or no, or do you like just leave it alone?
Well, I mean, I think it's just kind of a silly sort of cash grab for them to do all these remixes and masters. Like, like you said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like those original albums are fantastic, and that band is massive because of those albums. So
yes, sir.
I just think it's this weird reissuing of a slightly different mix. It's like, come on, guys, it's just like a weird little cash grab for them. And I haven't really paid attention to listening to that just because I grew up listening to the originals, and I will continue to do so.
Here's my thing, and I'm not knocking any band or that wants to do it. But if you want to remaster some stuff in there, that's cool and fine. But, put some autographed memorabilia in that stuff for us fans,
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, make it a package for sure. No, I agree. That's definitely that's the way to do it.
That would be really cool, I think.
Yeah.
$1 million question for you. If you could work with any musician that's passed away or is still alive today, or any band that's broken up that you'd like to get back together and work with for just a day or so, who would you choose?
I'd probably say Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy. I think I would definitely, if he was still around, if I could raise him from the grave and play some tunes with him, that would be definitely dream come true shit right there.
That would be some good stuff, man. God.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right.
Thin Lizzy still, man, can rock it out. I mean, their music is freaking amazing too.
It's timeless, man. Yeah, that's one of the big ones for me.
I don't know if you guys get this or not, but I'll ask anyway. Do you guys ever get anybody to email you, or after the shows or prior to the shows, they'll say, hey, look, your music has helped me through a bad time. It's gave me inspiration to overcome obstacles. It's just made me to get away from the everyday bullshit that we go through, Kevin. What's that mean to you?
Yeah. Oh man, that's honestly the biggest compliment I could ever get, and occasionally that does happen when somebody relates to the music, and it's helped them through some dark shit, because making the music for me has helped me through some dark shit. So to hear that is always like that just means like I did my job. So yeah, absolutely, man. When I hear that, that's like that's the biggest compliment. Someone could tell me I'm a great guitar player, and I really like. That's fine, but like if somebody says, "Hey, man, your songs fucking helped me through some shit," then I'm like, "Wow, that's great, man. That means the world to me."
I just got to say, I just started listening to your guys' music, and I'm absolutely floored by this album. Like I told you before, this is absolutely unbelievably great. Dear Demon is awesome.
I appreciate that.
Disgraced is awesome. Corpse Revival. Ode Hopeless is by far so damn good. Oh, geez.
Oh, awesome, man. I'm glad you like that. That's great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, folks, I'm not just saying this because he's on here. Take a listen to this. And this is a great, great album. It's like, and I'll just go ahead and say it. I told him I was going to tell him this, what I thought if two bands was to mix, this is what their sound would be. If a Pale Horse Named Death and Electric Wizard was to get it on.
Yeah. I love it, man. That's great. Those are two fucking, I love those bands, so that's good to hear.
This sound of Dead Quiet's music is what you would get from it. A more twisted and darker ride. Unbelievably great album. That came from me from a review, so there you go, my friend.
That's great. Thank you, John.
How can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, pick this up, tour dates? How can they do that? Yeah,
deadquiet.bandcamp.com, as well as, facebook.com/deadquietband. Instagram is @deadquietband. And, the label artofactrecords.com as well. You can order a bunch of the records via that. But, our Bandcamp's the main source of merch.
Before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Of course, man. No problem. Hey, this is Kevin Keegan from Dead Quiet. You are listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great, great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber CD Radio. Get Dead Quiet's new album, Grand Rites. I'm telling you, folks, this is a great, great album. Thanks, Kevin, so much, man.
Thanks, John. Good talking to you, man.